My name is Darrell. Thanks for making a date once again. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority says logistics constraints remain a major challenge to revenue collection, especially as all highway checkpoints are due for removal. Revenue collection officials say vehicles, tents, and other equipment for operational duties are inadequate. Nana Sensu-Mensah reports.
The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has met with importers and other stakeholders in Kumasi as part of an annual outreach. Officials use the platform to educate taxpayers on policies and tax computation. Government order for all barriers to be removed engaged attention of participants. Here is Sector Commander for Kumasi Customs Division, Daniel Mensah.
We have logistics. Government has tried over the years to supply us the logistics that we require to perform our duties. But with this situation that we have to remove the barriers, we will require additional one like the tents and torchlights and other petty items, raincoats and vehicles and all that. But we started dismantling by phases, and we started on the Sunyani Road in Mankransel, and it's been successful. So we hope to carry on with that to the other barriers that we have.
Importers at the forum also called for clearing agents to be removed because they create room for extortion and distortion. Yabuachi Yadom is Ashanti Regional Chairman of Ghana Chamber of Commerce.
I believe with this program, the customs needs to educate the public well, because it looks as if the agents are acting on behalf of the importers, and they take the information from the importers to the customs. But this time, I want it to be from the importers direct to the customs. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So that should be the basic line. That is the baseline. Everybody should stand on this. That it should be from the customs to importers. No, it's all because of lack of education. Because when you travel abroad, there is no agent. You can clear your goods yourself. Self-clearance. You do it yourself. So if I know the procedure, I can do it myself. Why should I go to pay money to an agent? Why? You understand? It's also based on another cost. So the government or the customs needs to educate the public well. So it becomes an optional thing. You can choose an agent or you can ignore. If you think that you can do the clearance yourself, then you choose the way forward.
Yes. Nana Sensu-Mensah reporting.
Government is to open another bid for strategic partners in revamping Voltastar Textiles Limited by next month. This follows the inability of the strategic investors Bullion Investment Consortium to inject the capital expected, that is $13 million, into the company's operations for a 70% stake in it. The consortium won the bid in April 2016, mainly because of the strong textile partners and finances. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Tremanting, however, announced on the floor of Parliament, government has cancelled the contract because Bullion has failed to make any payments so far.
The company was to pay an amount of $13 million USD for 70% of the company's shares. An escrow account agreement was executed with the Bullion Group, led by ANFD International, a member of the Bullion Consortium, which then assumed the prime role in the Bullion Consortium arrangement. ANFD International offer was revised downwards to $9.5 million on account of the capital expenditure commitments that they were supposed to make, amounting to $12.8 million over a 3 to 5 year period. The Bullion Group Consortium, led by ANFD International, is yet to make any form of payment, although they've had regular consultations with a transaction advisor, PwC. AFND International proposed that they would make payment by the end of May 2017, but has failed to make any payment to date. Mr. Speaker, against this background, the Ministry, in consultation with a transaction advisor, has decided to abrogate the contract with the Bullion Group Consortium and reopen the tender process to other potential investors. The process is scheduled to commence at the beginning of August this year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
According to an evaluation by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the company requires at least 20 million Ghana cedis to be viable, given its total debt of 13.4 million Ghana cedis as at May 2017. Mr. Chairman Ting says the company would also be considered for government stimulus package.
Since this is a strategic national asset, and since it is located in a rural community, and we believe as a government that is absolutely critical to preserve the workforce in that particular community, government has already taken a strategic decision that we would avail the company of the opportunity of benefiting from the stimulus package that is being offered by government. So currently, they've submitted the necessary documentation to allow them to be screened and then for them to access this particular facility. I would also like to add, Mr. Speaker, that technically speaking, they also qualify to become a district enterprise, looking at the criteria that we've set. And so at the appropriate time, they would also be considered for support under that program.
All right, so we get to talk now about the Ghana Club 100 Awards, which was launched by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center in Accra yesterday. The 16th edition of the awards is themed Industrialization, a tool for job creation and accelerated economic development. The theme is said to be in line with government's vision to use manufacturing through the One District, One Factory initiative as an economic development and job creation tool. This year's awards is being organized by the GIPC in partnership with EY Group, formerly known as Ernst & Young.
I'm sure you've heard the president say many times that we need to transform this country from one predicated on the economy of this country, predicated on the export of raw materials and resources into one of value added and industrialization. And therefore, this year's Club 100 event will be to also put out the message in another way that, yes, we are looking for companies that will industrialize, will add value to our raw materials, and not just those who export the raw materials. And so we encourage all those who have done that to participate actively. We're also going to use this year's program as a launchpad for promoting partnerships between Ghanaian industry and indigenous and foreign investment capital in a more structured way than we ever done before. And so even this event, we would like to put it out into international press to show that those who invest in this country, we see them as precious parts of our economic growth, and therefore we would hail them when we have to. The event has a number of objectives. The first, of course, is to develop a database of the top 100 viable companies as an annual Who is Who event on the Ghana Corporate Business Calendar and Ladder. And through creative media vehicles and activities, promote Ghana's corporate capacity. I must say here that in terms of numbers, if you look at our economy, it is estimated that 85% of our economy is dominated by SMEs and SMIs. But even the 15 that are left, you have some very credible companies who are world-class. And what we need to do in the next few years is to further push up a lot more companies from the SME, SMI space into that category. We keep saying that, and I keep saying that despite Ghana having been involved in cocoa and gold over the past 200 years, we don't have any significant millionaires and billionaires. I think it's about time that we created a few. And even as Ghana positions itself as the entry point into West Africa, we also need to create business opportunities for a lot more people, such that they scale up from SMEs and SMIs into real industrial giants on the continent. We'll also use the club to gain government support and intervention to enhance the competitiveness of the Ghana corporate sector. And we'll team up with club members to enhance Ghana's private sector development through strategic push and pull linkages. We'll develop an open information culture within the corporate sector. And at GIPC, we are working hard to create a one-stop shop first for companies to register, but also an information portal that will highlight the investment opportunities and try and match them with investment capital. We'll also provide incentives for improved corporate performance for recognizing the top 100 performing companies. I'm sure that should be interesting to any company that is looking to do business here. And then, of course, to develop criteria for evaluating corporate performance. As a great saying says, you can't manage what you can't measure. So it's important to recognize what they do, how they do it, and then where recognition is necessary, we give it as a way of enhancing our corporate culture.
Well, the EY Group will be the official partner in charge of screening and selection process after the GIPC receives all entries by close of business on September 29. They spell out the criteria.
So the three criteria: size, growth, profitability. Size is going to be measured by turnover, as I've already indicated. Profitability will be measured by 3-year average return on equity. 3 years average return on equity. And the essence for the 3-year, you don't want an outlier where a company makes huge profit in a particular year and all of a sudden they are the winners. So you are taking the average for the 3 last years or the last 3 years, just to show that you have had consistent profit in the last 3 years. The second one, which is growth, we are looking at, again, 3-year annual compounded growth rate, again, to ensure that there's consistent growth. So it's not going to be a company makes some huge growth in a particular year and then it becomes the winner. 3 years, 2014, 2015, 2016. So all these are 3 years just to ensure that we are not overtaken by shocks and surprises. You must demonstrate consistency in your growth, you must demonstrate consistency in your profitability, and of course your size must also matter. What does this mean? This means that a company might be very large in terms of size or very large in terms of revenue or turnover, but if you are not growing, if you are not making consistent profit, you might not be the eventual winner. Size is important, profitability is important, and growth is also important. Now, in terms of the weight we assign, just like CEO mentioned, size takes 40% of the mark. So, yes, we acknowledge that the bigger your size, the bigger opportunity for every Ghanaian, and so 40%. So if you're a bigger company, before we start, you have 40%. I mean, waiting for you. Growth takes 30%, and profitability also takes 30%. Now, how do we go about this? So we start the process by ranking all companies who submit their financial statements on each of these criterion. So for each of these, size, profitability, and growth, we are going to rank the companies. So you could be first on size, another company could be first on profitability, another could be first on growth. And then we assign the weights: 30% size, 40% size, 30% profitability, and 30% growth. And then we aggregate, or what we call consolidate. The eventual winner would have done better on all of the three, I mean in terms of aggregate, before you become the eventual winner.
The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce is excited about the theme and focus for this year's Ghana Club 100 Awards and welcomes the challenge thrown as well as the opportunities it affords the business community.
That the Ghana Club 100 is an initiative that is helping business operators to grow and also to be able to expand. For us at the Chamber, we are embarking on a lot of capacity building for our members and, for that matter, business operators in Ghana to be able to keep up with the pace and be able to expand. You need to do things differently if you want different results. So our objective is to bring them up to speed with modern trends, international business practices, so that they'll be able to do the right things and be able to get better results going forward.
Let's hear now from last year's winner, Newmont Ghana. They've got a brief word to share to encourage the participation in the awards.
We at Newmont rely heavily on our employees and business partners, our most important resources in the achievement of these objectives. We strive to attract the right talent, train, motivate, and align employees to deliver superior performance in line with our business strategy. Our employees are empowered to deliver their best and appreciate the Ghana Club 100 Award as recognition of their hard work and commitment to delivering on our strategy of high performance and operational efficiency. I would like to encourage all Ghanaian businesses to achieve their best possible in building and maintaining more world-class businesses right here in Ghana. We congratulate the Ghana Investment Promotion Center in establishing and sustaining these awards. They do indeed serve to encourage us to do our best and to give of our best to this nation of ours. It is our hope that these awards will continue to encourage and promote our collective efforts to improve Ghana's businesses and our important contributions to the growth of our nation's economy.
All right, so the event is scheduled for November at the Kempinski Hotel. The Ghana Club 100 Awards was first held in March 1999 and remains one of the flagship programs of the GIPC. The event ranks the top 100 companies in Ghana whilst encouraging and nurturing the private sector to develop as well as better position them to compete internationally. Moving away from that, and managing partner of Benchi & Cho, Lecture and Ankuma law firm, Ace Ankuma, has called for the consolidation of smaller firms in the country. Sharing his thoughts on JoyNews' business leadership show, The Executive Lounge, he explained the importance of consolidation in the law field and the greater opportunities to be seized when resources are pooled to create bigger firms.
We will have to grow, and then we will have to compete with artificial intelligence. Some lawyers do not like it when I say these things, but our competition is really is ultimately going to be computers. But we need to start consolidation of law firms. Our practices are a bit too small, a bit too niche to take on the big jobs. Look, a typical oil contract, they go through all the prospecting and then they have to drill. It's about 15 mini contracts, about 6 main contracts running to hundreds of pages. If it's given to you, it's let's even say it's 1,000-page. When are you going to finish reading it and give the legal advice? You need to departmentalize, you need to specialize, you need people in who do just that job and can advise on it. But what happens is that we do not get that it's a consolidation. And so we are quite a lot of individual lawyers living well, living okay, but the big ticket matters because we don't have the capacity. English law firms get it, South African law firms get it, and they do the work.
So the full episode of Executive Lounge with managing partner of Benchi & Cho, Lecture and Ace Ankuma, is on Saturday at 6 p.m. with a repeat on Sunday at 8 p.m. on Multi TV on the JoyNews channel. If you're watching DSTV, is on channel 421. Now, time to do some analysis of the stock market. I'm joined by Bertha Tubiga of Gold Coast Fund Management. Let's begin with the stocks this week. Analyzing the trends from Monday till now, Bertha.
Okay, thank you very much for having me this evening. This week has been a very, very good one. having an average of about 400,000 shares trading on daily basis. With the exception that on Wednesday we had about 100,000 shares trading on the stock market, but averagely the stock market has done very, very well. And today, starting the week, we had about 431,238 shares trading at over 1 million Ghana cedis, and the market cap started Monday at 60 billion Ghana cedis. That's 60,671.68 million Ghana cedis. But as of today, being the last day of the week, the market has actually picked up. Our expectation was that we're expecting very high volumes of shares to trade, and we saw that with the highest being traded today, 462,770 shares, giving us a value of 1.76 million Ghana cedis. Yesterday, we had 10 equities gaining on the stock market, and then the composite and financial stock index closed with their respective year-to-date at 30.34% and 32.92%. This is way high than what we saw even last year, and the market is doing extremely well. And today we're expecting some major equities to gain because there's this buy pressure, and a lot of people are demanding these equities on the stock market, and this FML, Go, and Standard Chartered Bank. And closing the day, we saw these equities go appreciated by 3 pesos to close at 2.18 pesos per share. Standard Chartered Bank went up by 52 pesos. And this week, I wouldn't be surprised to see Standard closing as a top absolute gainer on the stock market. And it closed at 25 Ghana cedis, 63 pesos. FML went up by 30 pesos to close at 14 cedis, 70 pesos per share. So what we were expecting, that buy pressure actually resulted in these equities appreciating on their previous share prices. Access Bank went up by 2 pesos as one of the gainers, went back to 4 Ghana cedis per share. Standard Chartered Bank preference share, the only preference share that we have on the stock market, went up by 14 pesos to close at 1 cedi, 4 pesos per share. Previously, Standard Chartered Bank preference share was trading at 90 pesos per share. The only loser, or the sole loser that we had today on the stock market, was GGB, or that's Guinness Ghana Breweries Limited, went down by 2 pesos to close at 1 cedi, 43 pesos per share. So out of, we had 5 equities gaining and 1 loser today on the stock market.
Okay.
And if you look at the worth of the exchange, where it began at about 60,671 million Ghana cedis, today it's closing at 61,264.33 Ghana cedis, and that is quite high. And for the stock market, it wouldn't be surprising if the composite index could inch closer to 40% average return by close of this month.
All right. Thanks very much indeed, Bertha Atubiga. Hopefully we can get to talk about the city when we meet on Monday, but that was Bertha Atubiga of Gold Coast Fund Management bringing us up to speed on what's been happening on the stock market. We are moving on now to our interview of the day. We want to take you to the Central Business District of Accra, where some retail stationery dealers plying their trade along the streets are lamenting poor patronage as a result of an influx of such businesses. Joy Businesses for Sina Mensa got in touch with one of these traders who said despite being out of the peak season, there is still a scramble for customers along the streets. The situation further reduces their profit margins. That's our interview of the day.
Interview of the day.
This time the sales are a little bit low because this time they are, unless the school open, after vacation, then when they are open school, the people may patronize over the sales over here.
Do you think people prefer buying from your place or from the big shop?
Yeah, it's competition, so it might be a little bit down the shops. So when you come here, we give you a little bit, the price is down than the shop. So you give the price, the person goes stop and ask the price and will come back to you.
Okay, so it means they don't directly buy from me. Sometimes you just ask the price and then they go there, find out if it's lesser before they come and buy from you.
Some come direct buy. When you show them, you tell some will go to a shop, they will come out there, they will ask the prices. Some go around and ask the prices before they buy. And some will come direct because our prices are moderate. Some will come and buy from us.
I also want to find out if your prices are lower than the other shops around you.
Yeah, sometimes our price, it depends on the books. Some our price are, unless the thing short, for that one you go to a shop, you won't get it. So the only thing will go out and go out and search for it later and come and sell it. After that one, the price may go a little bit higher than the normal price because there's none. If it's there, our price is cheaper than the shops.
Okay, so we can see that business is very competitive here. How do you get your customers?
Oh, you know something? Because of the price is lower, when the person comes and whatever you want, you get everything here, you come back next time. Sometimes you go to the shop, you don't get everything. And when you come here, I'll take my time, find everything for you.
Interview of the day.
And thanks for watching our program tonight. We are back next week with some more Business Live. My name is Darryl Kwao.